All right, once upon a time, they told us that girls have been playing with baby dolls forever. But then, bam! Along came Barbie, and she's the boss lady. Barbie can be a doctor, a lawyer, even a politician. She's got it all. So they take us to this crazy place called Barbieland, a total pink paradise where all the Barbie dolls live. And guess what? There are these dudes called Kens, the boys of Barbieland. But it's all cool because everyone here is super independent and confident. They've got awesome jobs, and they're all successful. The Kens just hang out at the beach, chillin' and having a blast with their Barbies. But sometimes, the Barbies get caught up in their own parties and forget about the Kens. Uh-oh. Now, our main Barbie wakes up in her world of make-believe. She takes a shower, grabs some grub, and gets ready in a jiffy. She's off to the beach in her cool car. But here's the twist. Everything she had was fake, like a big toy set. Her car, house, clothes, everything. At the beach, everyone's having a blast. But Barbie realizes it's all just a toy world. It's like those toys you find in your own home. All the dudes from Barbieland were hanging out here and they were like, "Yo, what's up, Barbie?" So there was this one Ken who was totally into Barbie. He wanted to impress her, so he starts surfing. But there's water, and he wipes out and gets hurt. Everyone starts cracking up at him, poor dude. Later that night, all the Barbies hit up a party together. They're all singing and dancing, having a blast. Morning comes, and Ken decides to shoot his shot again, proposing to Barbie. But guess what? She's like, "Nah, I like you as a friend, man." Ouch, friend zoned. Anyway, they go back to partying, but Barbie's not feeling it. She can't enjoy herself, and it's like she's about to croak or something. Everyone freaks out, but Barbie handles it like a boss, no drama. Next morning, life goes back to normal, and Barbie's just doing her daily stuff. But whenever she thinks about going out, she feels weird again. Can't eat, can't jump, something's off. The other Barbies find out and tell her to meet this strange old Barbie who might have some answers. Turns out, that weird Barbie's appearance is messed up because some kid treated her badly in the real world. And guess what? The state of Barbieland and its inhabitants is connected to the minds of real-world kids. So if kids are sad or unhappy, it reflects in Barbieland. Our main Barbie talks to the weird Barbie, and she spills all the beans about this mind connection thing. Barbie tells her how she's struggling with a bunch of stuff because of this link between the two worlds. Phew, that's a lot to handle. The weird Barbie is all like, "Yo, if you want to fix all this stuff, you gotta go to the real world and make that girl who used to play with you happy. The one who's connected to you, you know?" And she's all about freeing kids from stress, which gets regular Barbie super pumped. Now, this Ken dude who's into our main Barbie sets a condition for all the Kens, saying he'll impress her and then sneaks into her car. But when he pops out of nowhere on the road, regular Barbie freaks out. She never thought someone would be in her car, and there's this crazy accident. But don't worry, they're in Toyland, so no one's hurt. Barbie tells Ken to get out, but he's stubborn, and she ends up taking him along. Now they're in the real world, and they look just like humans, but their clothes are totally weird. People are laughing at them, and Ken starts bothering Barbie. She gets mad and punches him, and whoops, now they're both arrested for some serious charges. To get out of this mess, Barbie realizes they need to change their clothes, because they're getting mocked. But since they're broke, they end up stealing clothes and get arrested again. Finally, after all that drama, Barbie gets focused on her real mission. She has to find that girl she's connected to. So, she closes her eyes and thinks hard. And bam, she remembers the girl who used to have a blast playing with Barbie dolls. As time passed, though, she grew up and got stressed out about her studies and all these adult responsibilities. She forgot about Barbie completely, and that's just not cool. But then she learns about the real world where people have to do stuff they don't even want to do. And man, that really gets her emotional and tears start flowing. Meanwhile, Ken's out and about in the city, and he notices something. It's a dude's world out there. Men are totally dominant and popular in that place. They're holding all the cool gigs, hitting the gym, and riding horses like they own the place. Heck, even most of the country's presidents are men. But Barbie's world, it's a whole different vibe. There, it's all about girl power. Barbies rule the roost, and they're calling the shots. Barbie decides to get some insight into the emotions of this world, and she's learned a lot from those virtual novels she's been into. Plus, she's connected with this girl who's got all these feelings. So Barbie tells Ken to hit up the school where she used to study. Meanwhile, there's this company that's behind the concept of Barbie dolls. And when they find out Barbie and Ken have come to their real world, they totally freak out. They remember the chaos from the last time Barbie showed up, and they're stressing out big time. But then there's this girl named Glory, who's all about these weird Barbie drawings she's made. She wants to show them to the company employee, but he's in a hurry to meet the big boss. He storms into the CEO's office blabbing about Barbie and Ken's arrival, and the CEO's like, "Get them to my office pronto! Let's send them back to their world ASAP!" Meanwhile, Barbie and Ken are at the girls' school. Barbie's on the lookout for her mind-connected friend, and Ken's having a blast because there are boys everywhere. and they're all strong and doing their own thing. So our dude is feeling pretty special in this new world, which is totally different from Barbieland. He stumbles upon some books about men empowerment and gets all inspired by the progress men are making here. Meanwhile, Barbie finally meets the girl she's connected with, but it takes a wrong turn when the girl's friends start laughing at our girl. They bash her beauty standards and say nobody likes her in the real world. Barbie's heartbroken and the metal company folks come together. Now Ken, being all cunning and stuff, decides to let Barbie go and head back to Barbieland. He wants to spill the beans about how men are ruling the real world. What a plan, right? But wait, there's more drama! The girl's mom, who turns out to be the same lady making those weird Barbie drawings at the metal office, picks her up from school. When she hears the whole story, she gets pumped and starts chasing Barbie's car. It's like she loves Barbie more than her own daughter. Eventually, they bring Barbie in front of the metal company's CEO. And guess what? There's not a single woman running the show there. It's all men. Totally different from Barbieland, right? When they're about to pack her back in the Barbie box, our smart Barbie pulls a move, pretends to need the bathroom, and makes a run for it. Everyone's after her, but she sneaks into a room where an old lady is chilling. Man, things just got even more interesting. It turns out that the lady who came to chill with Barbie is actually the one who came up with the whole concept of Barbie. How cool is that? Barbie feels all warm and fuzzy chatting with her. But, trouble's brewing. The people who were after Barbie show up again, but the old lady comes to the rescue with a sneaky plan. She tells Barbie a secret escape route, and off she goes, leaving the chasers behind. Just when Barbie thinks she's in the clear, Glory rolls up in her car like a boss. Without a second thought, Barbie jumps in, and Glory speeds away, leaving the chasers in the dust. During their ride, they have a heart-to-heart, and it turns out that Glory is the true owner of Barbie, not the girl she was connected with. Glory was so into Barbies that she kept one with her all the time. Her drawings of Barbie's sad times had a real impact on our Barbie back in Barbieland. But hold up! Those pesky people are after them again. So Barbie's like, hey, let's go to Barbieland! And Glory's all in, no hesitation. Bam! Next thing you know, they're in Barbieland, and Barbie and Glory are having a blast. Glory's daughter is amazed to see her mom so happy because she's never seen her like that before. But here's the twist. Barbieland ain't what it used to be. Everything's changed, and the Kens are calling the shots now. They've hypnotized all the Barbies and have big plans to rule the place. Barbie's house is taken over by Ken, and even the name's been changed. It's a real mess. And get this, the changes in Barbieland are impacting the real world too. People there are going gaga over Ken, buying all his stuff like t-shirts, toys, and whatnot. It's like Ken Mania has taken over. So Barbie's like, hey, what's the deal with all this, Ken? And Ken's like, listen, I went to the real world and there men get mad respect. You never gave me that kind of respect, so we're changing things up here. Whoa, big words. Here's the crazy part. All the other Barbies are doing stuff for Ken and they're like totally fine with it, under some weird spell or something. Barbie's not having any of it, and she blames Glory for all this mess. She's like, you made those drawings and everything went downhill from there. Glory tries to explain that change is part of life and we gotta deal with it. But Barbie's not having it. She's on the floor, crying her eyes out. Meanwhile, in the real world, all the other Barbies are looking sad, and the girls aren't too thrilled to play with them. Darn! But wait, Glory and her daughter decide to head back to their world. And as they start singing, surprise! The song switches to one of Ken's annoying tunes. Ugh, not cool! Then, out of nowhere, this boy Alan pops up. Not Ken! Both Glory and Barbie are scared silly, but luckily, this is a toy world, so no harm done. Alan tells them he's not a fan of Ken's shenanigans and wants to go to the human world to find his true value. But some folks try to stop them on their way, and Alan gets into a scuffle. In the midst of all this, Glory realizes she's making a mistake by leaving. She can't let this happen to Barbies because of her. And guess what? There are 4 Barbies in Barbieland who are still free from Ken's control, and they're all like, okay, we gotta do something about this mess. Time for some epic Barbie rebellion. While all this was going on, Glory shows up and drops some truth bombs on everyone. She's like, hey, you Barbies don't need to be perfect all the time. Just be yourselves, that's enough. And Barbie totally digs what Glory's saying, but now the big question is, what's the plan? Then Glory comes in clutch with a genius idea. She's like, let's spill the beans to all the Barbies about who they really are. Meanwhile, we'll trick the Kens and beat them to the elections. Solid plan, right? So they all get to work. First, they bring in President Barbie to remind her of her roots and what she's become. Then, they decide to outsmart the Kens by creating distractions and chaos, making them fight each other while they sneak off to the assembly early. Sneaky, sneaky. Now comes the best part. Main Barbie goes to the Ken who caused all the trouble, and she's all like, hey, let's be buddies. So they all hang out, having a good time, but then Bam! The Barbies switch gears and head over to the other Kens. Cue the jealousy and drama. This was all part of the plan, by the way. Next morning, when the Kens finally remember it's election day, they rush to the assembly only to find that all the positions have already been taken by the Barbies. The Barbies turned their home into a wonderland and showed the Kens who's boss. The Kens are shocked! Now the real Ken is angry and starts fighting with our Barbie. But in the end, he breaks down and cries. That's when Barbie comes in like a boss and apologizes for everything that went down. She's like, dude, you don't need to control us to be valued. You've got worth. Recognize it. And guess what? The Ken apologizes too. Everybody starts making up, realizing that the Kens aren't just there to be Barbie's sidekicks. They've got their own identities and deserve respect. So during the talks, the metal company folks were all like, no way, Barbie! Stay away from the human world! But then, they decide to cut off Barbie's world from the human one. Poor Barbie doesn't say much, but she's all like, go, Barbie! She thinks it's cool that she gets to make her own choices. But here's the twist. Before Barbie can say a word, this wise old lady from the real world shows up and drops some serious knowledge on her. She takes Barbie on a journey of self-discovery, making her think about stuff. Barbie tells the old lady that she can totally live a regular life if she wants. She can be a mom and all that, just like any other person. While they talk, Barbie's mind is buzzing with thoughts and ideas. But in the end, she gets the power to choose what she wants for herself. And you know what? She decides she's done with doll life. She wants to be a normal human being instead. Everyone's cool with her choice, and guess what? All the Kens and Barbies get to come to the human world too. So Barbie's super excited on her first day in the human world, and everyone's cheering her on. She heads to the hospital, and we figure out that she dreams of being a mom like any regular girl. Now she's starting her new normal life. And that's where our story ends. Thanks for watching the adventure with us.